How's your afternoon or morning? How's it going?
I'm on the West Coast, so it's 9 a.m. for me, and it's going
I'm
pretty good.
saying,
I got up early, worked
yeah.
out, I did the thing.
Oh, that's good. You doing better than me.
This
Like I
this
need
is
to do
day
that.
one, so we'll see.
Congrats.
Thank you, and thank you so much for speaking with me today, Jason. I really appreciate it. And I know when I was being told that I could have an interview with you, they were talking about the partnership you had with Bailey's Original Irish Cream. And I wanted to know more
Yes.
about that. I wanted to know, I saw the puffer jackets and I thought they looked so good, so cute. Because I'm
Thank
actually
you.
somebody that wouldn't wear a puffer jacket, but then I saw those and I was like, I actually kind of want that though. Like I was like, I actually like that.
No,
Could you
I
talk a little bit
appreciate
more
it.
about it?
Of course. Honestly, my entire adult life, Bailey's has been something that I've always indulged in. From drinking it in my coffee to drinking it by itself. I remember being a kid and my mom, she used to drink it, and so, coming into my own adult life, I just think it's something that it's always been familiar.
Mhm.
And so when the partnership came about, it was a no brainer for me. It was like, I'm already a fan of the brand.
Right.
And then when I spoke more creatively, what was possible of this collaboration,
Hmm.
they were just supporters.
Yeah.
A lot of times you go into collaborations and you just don't know if you're going to be limited or if there's going to be any constraints.
Yeah.
And I came to Billy's with big ideas,
Hmm.
and they were totally down.
Yeah.
And that's how we got to the puffer jacket. It's their first Treat Couture
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's not their last Treat Couture piece.
Mhm.
But it was really magical to make. To tell the story in which I was trying to tell. It kind of derived from a marshmallow, and I like the lightness and the softness of a marshmallow.
Yes.
But as a designer, I like to make those soft and light fabrications kind
Hmm.
of tough,
Yeah.
or vice versa, make the tough fabrications kind of light.
Hmm.
With the embroidery on the puffer jacket, that was my goal, to give it this tough looking exterior, but from a bit far, it just looks light and it looks like marshmallow.
Yes, that's what I loved about it. It then for me, some puffer jackets just they seem too waxy and stiff, and I never had an appeal visually to them until I saw the one that you made and put together with them creatively. And I was very fascinated by it. And I was thinking to myself, like, I'd love to see this in person. Just a picture isn't doing it enough justice. I know this is definitely like solid material. And I wanted to talk to you about a little bit more about that creative process because I myself being a creative, when you talk about collaboration, I completely agree. You don't know what you will be constrained to do. And so sometimes that feels like a limitation and it kind of makes things a little tougher as a creative. But for you, could you talk about like maybe one or two things that in that creative journey and process with Bailey's you really like cherished and appreciated from them when you gave them some of your ideas?
For sure. I mean, I think it was the process as a whole, uh, from the first convo, and you ask those questions like, do I have to include something? Do I have to, make sure I'm hitting this or that? And they just honestly was like, do you? And a lot of times, you know, with collaborations, you don't get that autonomy over creativity. And I definitely presented a few ideas.
Mm-hmm.
They gave feedback, and it was feedback that I was grateful for because we got to a place of within this collaboration where I'm very happy with, and I think they're very happy with as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really cool puffer jacket. It's a I love the fact that it's unisex,
Yeah.
and and it has like, this oversized feel. At the same time, it still gives you that hug that
Yeah.
we all love from a puffer. So yeah, I feel good. I feel good with my process with Bailey's. Like, I've never had a process like this with any other partner. So it's
Uh,
great, have this experience.
yeah. I myself am interested in getting one. So, you had me sold as soon as you started to describe the details. I was like, oh, that's real
Oh,
cool. It's nice to know. And I wanted to talk to you some more about being a stylist. I creatively and career wise, how has that been for you? What did that journey look like from the beginning to where you are now? And I know that's like probably a whole lot, but as when it pertains to projects and how you knew that your soul wanted to be a stylist and wanted to delve into fashion like this.
for sure. Thank you. Great question. For
Mhm.
me, honestly, I didn't know what a stylist was. When I first started, I was just a connoisseur and fan of clothing, a fan of uh, different brands,
Mhm.
styles, people who are now considered style icons.
Yeah.
And it was just a really great time. This was about early 2000s when I kind of like, started to understand fashion and started to understand style. It was this magazine that I picked up one day. It was a Vibe magazine, and they did this spread on Lisa Hilton, and June Ambrose was also a few pages later.
Mhm.
But that was the first time that I've seen someone like them exist, like seeing
Yeah.
Lisa or seeing June. And then they had like a write up on them on each page. And I read and just spoke about them as stylists and what they did and what their job was and what they were behind. And it was amazing to be like, wow, like there's a job for this.
Yeah.
Every video that I love, they style this.
Yes.
And I went on my journey, applied for Vibe, didn't get it, you know. But then I started to work in editorial. I went to Elle magazine as an intern, and I went to W magazine as an intern, and I really got like a hold on fashion and what fashion meant for me. And then one day, I started interning for the Stylist Boy Vice, and at the time he was styling Alicia Keys,
Mm.
and we were working on her album packaging. And I realized, man, that he has autonomy,
Yeah.
over fashion. It's not like shoot look 17. It's like we're gonna put look 17 on with a pair of Timbs and some door knockers. And I think I love, that. I love that, with musicians, I can be creative.
Right.
Uh, I don't have any limitations or constraints. Like, I'm actually creating art that is like uncompromised.
Yes.
Um, and that just felt good. Like that felt good. That felt great. And so I continued on my journey, and I ended up getting this client at the time. Her name is Rita Ora, and as her group
Oh, I
flourished,
love Rita. Yes.
as her career flourished, my career
Yeah.
flourished, and we made some magic together. We were together for 8 years,
Nice.
and just continue to grow and grow and grow. And today where I am, you know, it feels good to one see myself in fashion. I remember coming in not seeing myself.
Yeah.
It feels great to you know be able to be a part of the new guard and
Right.
in the change,
Right.
and to help so many more who's coming after me. Because it makes no sense if it starts and ends here.
Right. Exactly. I love that. And when it comes to some of the stuff you're working on currently right now, I read up that you were a stylist for Lizzo and Issa Rae, and then you mentioned having been a stylist for Rita Ora. I know styles depend on the personality of the individual, but what do you find you carry with you with each client? A sort of like be it a value, a concept, a theme for how you're feeling about styling, I guess. What do you feel you carry on with each holiday?
Um, that's a great question. For me, it's not something that's like, completely like, a tangible thing. For me, it's like, it's just understanding.
Mm-hmm.
I communicate very closely with my clients on, who they are, what they want to say to the world, and how I can help. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like all of my clients, no matter how many you see out there, none of them are going to look alike. You
Yeah.
know, identity is very important to me. I want to make sure that each client feels special and feels seen and feels heard. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's important. Like, when they walk in, like when you walk into a store, you're like, man, this speaks to me.
Yeah.
When they walk into a fitting, I want them to feel like it speaks to me. Like, Jason understands me. And so I think that's the one thing I bring with every client is understanding.
Nice. And speaking of, well, we were talking about the puffer jackets before, but we knew that they were being made for the holiday season and around that time. And I just wanted to ask you how your holidays were, if you did anything special.
Oh,
Yeah.
holidays. Yes. Uh, sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Um, how was my holidays? My holidays were amazing. Honestly, um, we take little things a lot of times for granted. And, one of those things for me has always been being present because, I'm working, I'm flying, balancing between stylist and designer. So a lot of times it's hard to be present. And my goal for this holiday was to live in the moment and to be present. So stayed home.
Mhm.
I wore a lot of pajamas. It was super cozy. It was cold in New York. And,
Mm.
watch TV, play spades.
Oh, yes.
I drank some Bailey's hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Like, it was a great holiday. Like,
That's,
it was calm. I had a lot of work to do because I had to make a custom gown over the holiday for Miss Shirley Ralph for the Globes.
mm,
But that was it. Or,
amazing. Well, I
how was
think,
your holiday?
well, my holiday was the same actually. I was playing spades. I was also drinking Bailey's hot chocolate. And I spent it in California, so it was nice. I'm originally from Florida, so it pretty much felt the same temperature wise and weather wise. But overall, it was very chill. Most of it was spent in pajamas as well. I like it like that. I'm not gonna lie. It's nice to relax.
Yeah,
It's yeah, it's nice to be in the moment, like you said. So
yeah, it's a great feeling. Like I think even I have two kids. I think even they're happy when dad doesn't have to work to do.
yes, exactly. The kids just like to be with the parents, naturally, I feel. So it's nice to be able to engage with them in a way that they feel appreciated, especially during the holidays. So it's something that I like to try and traditionally pass on, because yeah, it's good to spend time together. We don't get to do that as much. And we're always constantly on our phone, not doing that as much.
100%
Yes.
agreed. Great. You got to take that step back.
Exactly.
I appreciate you.